Okay, John Rollinson's journal again. This is a chronicle of what happened to John Rollinson. He read the writing on the wall. In this picture that Alfred Wadd drew of the landing here of the 9th New York and the 20th Indiana, these guys, they were all business. I'm sorry?
The 20th New York.
I'm sorry, 20th New York, thank you. The 9th New York and the 20th New York. These guys, the 9th New York, for all intents and purposes, was the finest fighting force out there. They were today's Army Rangers. And John Rollinson read the writing on the wall. He was a representative of a secessionist government. He said, I'm out of here. There's a noose waiting for me. And that, excuse the drama, but that was what was going to happen. They were going to hang him. There was a couple others that had to exile out of here as well. But here we go. The bombardment of Fort Hatteras commenced August 28th and surrendered August 29, 1861. John W. Rollinson and wife and 3 children left home on the 28th of August and went to Bate Williams, that was his wife's uncle. Bate Williams on the Cape, lived down there across from, right where Drew lives, across the street from where Drew Talls here, our student at Cape Hatteras High School lives. Went to Bate Williams on the Cape. On the 29th of August, went to Kinnikee. That's the old Indian name from Avon, what is now Avon. From Dyer, D-H-A-R, went to Middle Creek, landed there August 30th, 1861. Stayed, S-T-A-D-E, stayed there, he's a great mathematician, but spelling wasn't as strong. Stayed there about 3 weeks in the house known by the name of Kit Spencer House. From there, moved to Wissahickon to the house belonging to Dr. M. Selby, known as the Midget House. Stayed there until January 1862, then moved to Dr. Milton Selby Overseer's house. Stayed there until the 14th of March, 1862, then moved back to Middle Creek to the Ben M. Gibbs House. Stayed there until August 14th, 1862, then moved to Nebraska. Not the state. There's a little farm community over here across the Sound. To the Oliver Gibbs House and was there March 29, 1864. I left Wissahickon May 16, 1864. Remember now, this has been what, 3 years, going on 3 years here? I left Wissahickon May 16 and come to Ocracoke. And on the 20th of May, I came, let's skip over here, because I can't read it. I came to Hatteras, and on the 20th of June, Christopher Rollinson Sr., that's John Rollinson's father, and Redden Quidley, that's his father-in-law, moved, M-O-O-O-O-V-E-D, my family back to Hatteras. And we moved in with my wife's father and mother, that's Redden Quidley, and stayed there until July 12th, and then moved back to the house that I formerly lived in. And on the 12th of September, my wife had born a son, and we gave him the name of Samuel Milton Selby. There's the exile. That's what he did the whole time that he was out of here. Now, we had a lot of political opportunists running around here. When the Union took this place over, carpetbaggers is a word you might know from. But when these guys came down here, 2 men settled in John Rollinson's house. And we're going to see it. It's a nice little pad. One of them was a gentleman who declared himself the congressman here, a fellow named Charles Henry Foster. But the drama that you don't get in this little missive here is that when my father and my father-in-law moved me back into the house that I formerly lived in, they had local lore. Oral history is important. Where there's smoke, there's fire. It might not always be 100% accurate, but they had to evict a couple of carpetbaggers out of his house before they could move their stuff in there. But I did, we have R.S. Spencer here, who is the great-grandson of Kit Spencer. Kit Spencer was really a benefactor for John Rollinson. And R.S., could you just give us just a couple of words on some of your ancestry there?
first under my great-grandfather, Christopher Casey Spencer. His two grandfathers, they called him Kid. Born 1795, died in 1867. This was no ordinary man. He had 3 wives, 18 children. Including my grandfather, Christopher Columbus Spencer. I'm didn't know his own name. I think it was Christopher Casey Jr., but his mother died when he was 6. His father remarried and farmed in 1850. He was living with his uncle. So the little boy, he thought he was born in 1840. According to my father, and I said, Dad, the record showed 1843. He got very upset with me that I would know more about his father than he did. This was Kit Spencer. I want to give you genealogies to build a brick wall and some encouragement. I knew who his father was, Felix, very right near where I live. But I couldn't find out much about Kit. I was in the National Archives one time to find a pension record of the War of 1812. His 3rd wife filed for his pension. She wasn't even born at the time of the War of 1812. In that pension record, it gave a physical description of Kit Spencer. He was 6'4", very fair complected, and at that time, I had black hair. I never knew where my height came from. But sitting there in the reading room, this is me. My great-grandfather. Right. So this was the Kit Spencer. John Rollinson went and lived there. Who knows? Great-grandpa may have gone on to another house with some of his children, or he may have just taken John Rollinson in and his family. Plus, people in the house with all those children. Then Rollinson lived with Dr. Milton Selby. This is on the Lake Landing Canal, about 5 miles from west of Englehart. Dr. Selby was a large, prosperous farmer. He lived in Overseer's house. And Dr. Selby died. He left his manor house to the St. Louis Episcopal Church, and they used it as a rectory for many years. When I was a small boy, I saw that house, but it's been destroyed. And then went on, Oliver Gibbs, that's one of Casey Gibbs' son. That's a VARSA line for any of his 20-some children, descendants. And then lived in Benjamin Gibbs' house, all in within a 5-mile area of Englehart. So that was what I was doing over on the
RS, thank you. Okay, Hatteras was the capital of the Union South for about 24 hours. Again, 2 political opportunists, Reverend Marble Nash Taylor, a New York preacher,